It sounds like science fiction, but you can actually train your tongue to see in the pitch black. To understand how that is possible, we have to look at a biological rule identified by developmental molecular biologist John Medina. It's called the pictorial superiority effect. Essentially, human vision does not share power with your other senses. It dictates reality. When visual data conflicts with what you hear or feel, your eyes win, every time. In the famous mirror box experiment, an amputee sits before an angled mirror. The reflection creates an illusion of an intact arm. Seeing this reflection move causes the brain to physically feel a phantom limb, completely overriding the physical absence. If visual input is so dominant that it can invent a limb out of thin air, we run into a strange biological paradox. How can our eyes be both absolute dictators of reality and entirely optional? Our eyes dictate our immediate conscious experience. But that overwhelming tower hides a massive vulnerability in how the human nervous system actually processes the truth. Consider the physical location of your brain. It is locked inside a thick bone vault. It exists in absolute, permanent darkness. Your brain has never actually seen a single photon of light. Neuroscientist David Eagleman points out that the brain does not process light, sound, or physical touch directly. It has no direct access to the outside world. Instead, every sensory organ you have, eyes, ears, fingertips, acts as a translator. They take varying environmental data and convert it into identical electrical pulses. To the brain in the dark, the signal for a red apple looks exactly like a loud siren. Because these electrical signals are uniform, the brain is essentially guessing what is happening outside based purely on the timing and patterns of those nerves firing. All human experience is reduced to this universal electrical code. Which means the eyes aren't magical windows to the soul. They are simply one interchangeable data port among many. In the 1960s, neuroscientist Paul Bachi-Rita realized the implications of this electrical code. He theorized that if the brain only reads uniform pulses, you could completely swap the sensory data streams. He called this sensory substitution. It is the radical idea that you can bypass the optic nerve entirely. You can take live data from a video camera and route it directly into touch receptors on the skin. If the brain receives consistent electrical patterns that correlate with a person's physical movements, it automatically decodes those tactile tingles. It builds a perfect three-dimensional visual map of space. Neuroplasticity operates like a plug-and-play system. To the brain, the source of the electricity is irrelevant. It will build a visual reality out of whichever data port is currently active. Take Eric Weihenmayer. He is completely blind, yet he successfully navigated the sheer, precarious ice cliffs of Mount Everest. He didn't scale those rock faces by relying solely on traditional touch or sound. He climbed by streaming live video data directly into his nervous system. He used a piece of technology called the BrainPort. A camera mounted to sunglasses wires directly to a 600-electrode grid resting on his tongue. They translate video pixels into electrical tingles across the tongue pad. Weihenmayer's brain learned to read these electrical tingles as a direct visual map. It allowed him to discern distance, shape, and depth, effectively giving him sight without the use of his eyes. Most people scroll past the biological logic that makes this possible. To see how else the nervous system is being remapped, subscribe for the next breakdown. This flexibility is a direct result of the brain's isolation. Bypassing damaged hardware to see through the tongue, the brain proves that our perception of reality is a calculation that can be rerouted.